Assalamu alaikum. We are studying the vitality of dentin. Since the odontoblast and its processes are an integral part of the dentin, there is no doubt that the dentin is a vital tissue. Again, if vitality is understood to be the capacity of the tissue to react to the physiologic and pathologic stimuli, dentin must be considered a vital tissue. Dentin is laid down throughout the life, although after the teeth have erupted and have been functioning for a short time, dentinogenesis is slow and further dentin formation is at a much slower rate. This is the secondary dentin. Pathologic effects of the dental caries, abrasion, atresion, or the cutting of the dentin or the operative procedures cause changes in the dentin. These are described as the development of the dead tracts, sclerosis, and the addition of the reparative dentin. The formation of the reparative dentin pulpally underlying an area of injured odontoblast processes can be explained on the basis of increased dentinogenic activity of the odontoblast. Reparative dentin. If by extensive abrasion, erosion, caries, or operative procedures, the odontoblast processes are exposed or cut, the odontoblasts die, or if they live, deposit reparative dentin. The majority of the odontoblasts in this situation degenerate, but a few may continue to form dentin. Those odontoblasts that are killed are replaced by the migration of the undifferentiated cells arising in the deeper region of the pulp to the dentin interface. It is believed that the origin of the new odontoblast is from the cells in the cell-rich zone or from the undifferentiated perivascular cells deep in the pulp. Both the remaining and the newly differentiated odontoblast then begin deposition of the reparative dentin. This action to seal off the zone of the injury occurs as a healing process initiated by the pulp, resulting in resolution of the inflammatory process and removal of the dead cells. The hard tissue thus formed is best termed reparative dentin, although the term tertiary dentin response or a reactive dentin are also used. Reparative dentin is characterized as having fewer and more twisted tubules than the normal dentin. Dentin-forming cells are often included in the rapidly produced intercellular substances. In other instances, a combination of the osteodentin and the tubular dentin are seen. It is believed that the bacteria, living or dead, or their toxic products, as well as the chemical substances from the restorative material, migrate down the tubules to the pulp and stimulate the pulpal response, leading to the reparative dentin formation. All of the events in this process are not yet known. Dead tracts. In dried ground sections of the normal dentin, the odontoblast processes disintegrate and the empty tubules are filled with air. They appear black in the transmitted and the white in the reflected light. Loss of odontoblast processes may also occur in the teeth containing vital pulp as a result of the caries, atresion, abrasion, cavity preparation, or erosion. Their disintegration is often observed in the area of the narrow pulpal horns because of the crowding of odontoblast. Again, where the reparative dentin seals the dentinal tubule at their pulpal ends, the dentinal tubule filled with the fluid or gaseous substances. In the ground section, such group of tubules may entrap the air and appear black in the transmitted and white in the reflected light. Dentin areas characterized by the degenerated odontoblast processes give rise to the dead tracts. These areas demonstrate the decreased sensitivity and appear to a great extent in the older teeth. Dead tracts are probably the initial step in the formation of the sclerotic dentin. Sclerotic or transparent dentin. Stimuli may not only induce additional formation of the reparative dentin, but also lead to the protective changes in the existing dentin. In cases of the caries, atresion, abrasion, erosion, or cavity preparation, sufficient stimuli are generated to cause collagen fibers and apatite crystal to begin appearing in the dentinal tubules. This condition is prevalent in the older individuals. In such cases, blocking of the tubules may be considered a defensive reaction of the dentin. Apatite crystals are initially only sporadic in the dentinal tubule, but gradually the tubule becomes filled with a fine meshwork of crystals. Usually the tubule lumen is obliterated with the mineral, which appears very much like the peritubular dentin. The refractive index of the dentin in which the tubules are occluded are equalized, and such areas become transparent. Transparent or the sclerotic dentin can be observed in the teeth of the elderly people, especially in the roots. Sclerotic dentin may also be found under the slowly progressing caries. Sclerosis reduces the permeability of the dentin and may help prolong pulp vitality. Mineral density is greater in this area of dentin. Thank you so much for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe the channel.